For thousands of years, humanity watched the sky. We saw the wanderers, the planets, and we saw the visitors. Bearded stars, swords of fire. But we missed the grandeur, the Milky Way merging with a neighbor. A galactic union, billions of years in the making, still unfolding. And in this vast, slow integration, the dwarf stars and planets were stretched into the ghostly stream that weaves above and below the Milky Way. Trillions of smaller bodies are shaken loose. Planetesimals, fragments, hurled from the Sagittarius dwarf onto highways through the dark. To this day, that merger rains debris into the galactic plane. Our solar system, orbiting the galaxy, must occasionally sail through its fallout. The visitors from yonder were inevitable. We simply started to notice as our lenses finally caught up to reality. First Oumuamua, then Borisov. Now, 3I Atlas. Individually, their origins are uncertain, but together they form a pattern. Their paths, their chemistry, they point to a common extreme event. And the great merger with Sagittarius is the single event in our galactic neighborhood, turbulent enough, vast enough, and old enough to forge such anomalies and cast them our way. Oumuamua came from the general direction the sun moves, a patch of sky that also contains the great tidal stream of the Sagittarius merger. Borisov arrived from another arc of the sky. 3I Atlas, from the heart of the ongoing merger with Sagittarius. A billion-year reorganization of stars, matter, and fields. It's only natural it has cast off a distinct class of objects, much like a vortex casting off coherent fragments that surf its currents. They are riders from Sagittarius. 3 interstellar objects, all cast off, on their way in search of a new home, and a star to keep them. Their arrival forced an audit of our reality, and 3I Atlas is the breaking point. The official answers always sound plausible. An active comet from another star, a fascinating but ultimately natural object. But the anomalies don't fit. They pointed to sublimation, exotic ices, a fine-tuned composition. But when every new anomaly demands a brand new exception, the model stops explaining reality. It becomes a physics of patches. Then came the images, a faint, blurry dot. NASA's view was no clearer than a backyard telescope's. With nothing solid to see, speculation ran wild. Some saw the impossible and imagined the incredible. Alien technology. But let's be clear. An intelligent craft wouldn't waste energy firing jets toward the sun. It wouldn't cling to gravitational lanes carved by nature. And if it were masquerading as a rock, it wouldn't announce itself with precision-aligned jets and a guided trajectory. These aren't the careful fingerprints of a covert machine. They are the unmistakable signature of a natural, extraordinary phenomenon. A deeper layer of reality we are finally starting to understand. "3I Atlas is not a comet. At least not as any model has described one. And it is not a simple asteroid. It is a tail, a torque-entrained interstellar object. And this is what makes 3I Atlas a tail. A metal-rich asteroid-like nucleus, not icy. Bidirectional, multidirectional, X-shaped jets extending millions of kilometers. Chemically dissociated coma with methanol hundreds of kilometers from the nucleus. Non-gravitational acceleration aligned with torque spin pathways. Survival through perihelion intact. 3I Atlas arrived fast enough to escape, on paper. But at the boundary of Jupiter's domain, the math may change. That aside, the remarkable fact isn't its departure. It's the path it follows. A helical trajectory through the solar system. To explain this, we propose the object was caught in something we call the solar torque spin field. Think of it as the mechanism behind a fundamental fact. The sun doesn't just hold its planets in orbit, it shepherds them in a vast synchronous motion. That orchestration, that silent guidance, is the torque spin field exerting its influence. Now envision the source. The sun is not just a ball of light, but as a giant whirlpool in space. Its rotation creates a vast, structured system of currents, a cosmic vortex that fills the solar system. Think of it like a river. Most objects are like twigs, too small or chaotic to be fully caught. But 3I Atlas was like a perfectly sized log. With the right shape and spin, it didn't just fly past. It locked into a stable current within that whirlpool and was guided. That same guiding current steered it toward the second largest whirlpool of them all, Jupiter. And this precision, this unnatural-looking guided path toward a gas giant, is what ignited the wild alien mothership frenzy. When reality behaves in a way your map can't explain, the human mind fills the void with stories. But what is really happening? 3I Atlas isn't dropping probes at Jupiter. It's navigating. It's surfing. Its entry route carried it through the Sun-Mars-Lagrange gateway, a stable torque spin corridor between their fields. Its Earth flyby is not a coincidence. It is a waypoint on this charted path that would lead it to flow through the Sun-Jupiter L1 gateway. Yet here lies the paradox. Its surface is burnt out and fragile. Its behavior is calm, golden, and coherent. It should be falling apart. Instead, it's being held together and guided by the very structure it surfs. Its changing colors are the visible signature of a body constantly adjusting and adapting to the twisting torque spin field. And that adaptive glow tells us one thing clearly. 3I Atlas is not a comet. It's a new physics. The sun's torque spin field is the architect. But Jupiter is different. Its furious spin creates a localized whirlpool in that architecture. And 3I Atlas was guided directly to the very edge of Jupiter's whirlpool. The Sun-Jupiter-Lagrange gateway. Now we watch the handoff. The moment the solar field lets go and Jupiter's spin takes over. Mainstream models had no physics for this precision. Jupiter became either a coincidence or the alien mothership fantasy. A failure of mechanism and of physics. Meanwhile, our published framework predicted a realignment as it crosses into Jupiter's domain. And now, it's happening. The tail is no longer just entrained by the Sun. It is now also aligned with the second largest torque spin field in the solar system, Jupiter. Think of Jupiter like a giant spinning top. If its whirlpool of spin is strong enough where 3I Atlas passes, it could get caught in its current, guided by the planet's rotation itself. By the old rules, it's moving too fast to be captured. But if Jupiter's spin deflects it, if it leaves a measurable imprint, it points to a new rule, a spin-generated cosmic current. But this whole idea hinges on one thing. The object's actual path must thread the needle between the Sun and Jupiter. The fact that it's even aimed that precisely is a 1 in 26,000 chance. Like throwing a dart across a continent and hitting a bullseye. That's the signature of something surfing a hidden current, and this is guided surf. We saw the pattern once, then we saw it again, and it became a flight plan. Borisov, it entered our system, and at the precise boundary of Jupiter's dominion, 3 astronomical units out, it lit up. It shouldn't have. The Sun was too distant, too faint. But Jupiter's spin was not. The gas giant is a spinning dynamo, a torque spin anchor. Borisov didn't trace a curve on a graph. It was captured by a physical reality, a spinning vortex. This was the first proof. The Teos don't just travel through space. They are tuned to the spin of the giants they pass. 2 different objects. Borisov entering, 3I Atlas leaving. Both using Jupiter's torque spin field as a navigational aid. An entry beacon and an exit ramp. For all of human history, we looked up and saw a static stage, a silent, glittering vault. But that was a local illusion. The view from a well for a frog. We have been standing on the shore of a vast cosmic ocean, mistaking the calm surface for the whole. Beneath the stillness lies a universe shaped by trenches and ridges, alive with currents, tides, and storms of spin. We are like ants on a giant, spinning boulder, hurling through space. We don't feel the spin, we don't feel the flight, because we were moving with it. That is why this dynamic remains hidden. Ptolemy didn't see it. Newton didn't see it. Einstein didn't see it. Not for lack of genius, the true motion of the cosmos unfolds far below the reach of their instruments. The universe is never a still container. It's a dynamic medium, alive with motion. And only now, with 3I Atlas crashing through our solar system, do we glimpse the currents that have always been there. Modern cosmology is at an impasse. General relativity sees only the curves, not the cause. With all its tech and math, it can plot a comet's path, but it cannot tell you why that path was guided. It describes the face in the mirror, not the one casting the reflection. And that emergent reflection has been our map of a territory it declared passive, still, non-living. But how does a dead container universe give birth to life? Like Ptolemy's epicycles, like Newton's clockwork heavens, predictive, but projecting effects, not causes. GR works within its local geometric domain, until the cosmos sends us its messenger, again. When reality devastated the theory, Ptolemaic parameters were piled on. For Oumuamua, they imagined a hidden magical iceberg. For Borisov, they called it a chemical fluke. For 3I Atlas, they're now picturing a finely tuned cosmic fruitcake, an object so perfectly layered it behaves like clockwork. The fix was the same: invent something inside the object to explain the anomaly outside. It's cosmic whack-a-mole. But there is always a simpler path. Occam's razor. The activity, the motion, were never driven by sublimation. They are driven by interaction with the field. Accept this one premise, and the iceberg vanishes. The fluke becomes a signal, and the fruitcake nucleus simplifies into a coherent object. Every anomaly becomes a predicted outcome. The visitors were not failing our physics. We were failing to see theirs. 3I Atlas revealed a path, and for that, the old book had no chapter. Teos are the cosmos spelling out its first law. Spin dictates motion. Three I Atlas is a cosmic surfer. It rides torque spin currents, follows guiding manifolds, and maintains coherence of the solar torque spin field. It is a causal architecture that predicts the anomaly's form. This is the difference between describing a shadow and switching on the light. That ghostly push? It's the object riding a hidden wave in the solar torque spin field. Like a massive log locked into the spin of a deep vortex. Its mass doesn't slow it, it anchors it to the wave. The so-called laser jets? They are luminous spray left behind as 3I Atlas carves through the wave's invisible geometry. They may shift or reorient as it interacts with new currents, a sign it is surfing forces we are only beginning to perceive. The bow wave ahead of it? A wake, pressure building in a dynamic responsive medium. Why didn't it break near the sun? If 3I Atlas was a comet, the sun's heat should have torn it apart with explosive outgassing. It didn't. If it was an asteroid, the sun's tidal forces should have cracked it like an egg. They didn't. Every conventional category predicted its destruction. Its survival is not just unusual, it's diagnostic. And its behavior confirmed it. An anti-tail, 60,000 kilometers long, did not act like dust. It locked onto the sun, irrespective of the object's own violent motion. At perihelion, it reversed its apparent direction, but its orientation never wavered. And there was more. A narrow, persistent jet pointed directly at the sun. A comet's tail points away from the sun. This jet was drawn toward it. It wasn't being pushed, it was latching on. And then, a definitive signal cut through the speculation. Japan's CRISM satellite detected a halo, a 400,000 kilometer wide glow of X-rays. The signature of a massive, gaseous atmosphere colliding atom by atom with the solar wind. A process called charge exchange. The fingerprint of a real, physical structure. 3I Atlas is not a spacecraft. A solid craft of any kind would not produce this glow. It would shield the solar wind, not spark a million-mile wide embrace with it. But one could ask, doesn't a gaseous atmosphere just prove it's a comet? A comet's atmosphere is a cloud. It billows out, it disperses, it is chaotic. This is a perfect, persistent, coherent sphere. An atmosphere that does not blow away, but holds its form against the solar wind. 3I Atlas is not a comet, but if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. The 60,000-kilometer antitail was the visible spine of a far larger body, a coherent, planet-sized atmosphere held in perfect sun alignment against the violence of the cosmos. "3I Atlas was not just surviving, it was coupling. Held together and guided by a cohesion that has nothing to do with ice or rock. It was cohered by the field it was moving through, because the same wave that guides it binds it. The proof was not just in its motion, but in its molecules. 3I Atlas was emitting methanol and hydrogen cyanide in one of the highest ratios ever recorded. Methanol, a building block for life. Hydrogen cyanide, a poison and a precursor to DNA. But the true smoking gun was a different ratio altogether. Carbon dioxide to water, 60 times higher than any comet in our solar system. This is not a composition, it is a record. The definitive fingerprint of a billion-year bombardment. Galactic cosmic rays, the relentless background radiation of deep space, slowly transmuting the surface of a primordial traveler. The Teo's skin, 20 meters deep, is not primordial ice. It is a radiation-forged crust, an organic-rich armor hammered together on a galactic anvil. Is it strange for a comet? Absolutely. But 3I Atlas is not a comet. It is a Teo, a torque-entrained primordial building block, a rider from Sagittarius. 3I Atlas's path traces to the ongoing merger of the Milky Way and the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. Its arrival vector points toward the galactic center, the same patch of sky that famously produced the WOW signal. A corridor where Sagittarius debris continues to merge and churn. It didn't just barge into our system, it is simply surfing the wave of an event happening right now. 3 riders from the same distant arm. One passed through untouched. One was kicked like a stray stone. And one now surfs a hidden current straight toward Jupiter. What separates them? Angle. Their inclination, their tilt relative to the solar system's spin, decides their fate. It is the signature of torque entrainment. The cosmos has been sending us messages of a different physics all along. Now all eyes turn to March 2026. The Jupiter encounter becomes the live test when the cosmos delivers its verdict on general relativity, on the new physics. If 3I Atlas responds as predicted, it won't just explain one object. We are finally graduating from a physics of what to a physics of why. TOTA, the lens that perceives reality from first principles, where we define for the very first time what gravity is. The riders have shown us the door. In March, we see what lies beyond it.